Welcome back to another episode of Fuelin the Flame. I'm your host, Mason Miller, and today we have a special show for you guys. We have Donnie Hamilton and Colton Sigel from the men's basketball team. Welcome and thank you for joining the show.
Appreciate having us.
Absolutely. So, a little intro. Donnie Hamilton is a 6'4 senior guard / forward. I don't really know what you are, but we'll throw that out there. From Munster, Indiana, and attended Munster High School. Colton Sigel is 6'2".
Yep.
6'2 senior guard from Rock Island, Illinois, and attended Rock Island High School, and he's a 4-year player for Carthage men's basketball. So we're in the early start of the season, 4-2 so far, solid start. We're currently in a tough stretch going right now, but we have wins versus Illinois Tech, Alma, Ripon, and Whitewater, and a couple losses against some really good teams. So can you guys kind of recap where we are in the season, what's happened so far?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. We had two tough losses to start the year on the road. Got some big wins at home. Big road win against Whitewater last Saturday. Big game today against Wesleyan, who's ranked 5th in the country. So a few good days of practice. So hopefully we start off conference with a win.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think people should look for with this team? Like, what are our strengths? What are we good at? How do we play? Like, what's our style? What should people watching our games look for when they watch our games?
I think they definitely have to worry about shooting, especially Ryan at the 5'2". A good amount of time we have 5 guys out there who can all space 4 and shoot it. So, I'd say that would be the biggest strength of ours.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I would say up in transition too, we're a lot smaller than last year. Missing some guys, so we're really fast in transition. I like to move the ball, score a lot, so it's fun to watch. And then we got to focus on the defense end, but that's fun too for us.
You guys want to talk about the Johnson brothers? They both won a Player of the Week so far this season. They've had a really strong start, and they're a bit of a dynamic duo when they get going. So you guys want to talk about them? Maybe what's going for their success?
We missed AJ last year with an injury, so having him back is obviously the biggest difference, I think, this year. And then Ryan stepped into a huge role, arguably our most important player on both sides of the ball right now. Them together is amazing. I think it's the best duo in the league right now. They score at will, they defend, they rebound, and they do the right things every time. And it's really fun to play with them on the court. They do everything right, it seems like. So, having AJ back is a huge help too.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So during this point of the season, it's a bit of a tough stretch, probably the toughest I've had in my 3 years, but maybe the 4 years you've had, insanely tough stretch to start the year. How would you say the team has handled the challenge so far, whether good or bad, and maybe how we can keep handling improving on such a challenging start for this year?
I think there's always areas where we can grow, and in a long season where you're facing tons of adversity, we're playing a really tough schedule this year, one of the toughest in all the countries. So I think it's just taking it day by day and staying as positive as you can, and just finding that will to keep you going every single day.
Yeah, I feel like we've done a good job of forgetting about the losses. So, in this tough stretch, we're not going to win every game all year. So, to handle those losses the way we had, I feel like it's a huge positive. Lose, move on, focus on the next game. So I think we've done a really good job doing that.
Well, what's the value in having such a tough schedule early?
This conference is the toughest in the country. So, having that early tough schedule is going to prepare us for those games down the road in February and January. So, getting those out of the way early is going to help us down the road. Big games, tight situations. So it's a big motivator.
I like to add too that in years past, sometimes our non-conference has been kind of light, and that definitely shows up in conference. And we've been really close the past couple of years to getting there and just punching our ticket. But these early games should help us. In the long run. End of February, March.
Yeah. I mean, you can afford to lose a couple ones early, but if it helps you in the end when you can win those games in tournament time to make the national tournament, that's huge. So
definitely.
Now, thinking back to your freshman year, I mean, a lot has changed. I mean, I know your first year wasn't the greatest season, but looking at to where it was and where the program is now, I mean, what are some of the biggest things that you have seen change throughout your time?
We had 2 conference wins our freshman year, and we had a losing record.
Yeah.
It was not fun at all. And then sophomore year, guys like Philip Bolanovich, who graduated last year, and guys like AJ and Antoine and me and him, we kind of grew up really fast early in our career. We're the youngest team in the league. Now we're the oldest team in the league. So I feel like the experience has worn on some guys, and we've won a lot of close games now that we didn't win previously. And then I think winning just kind of became a habit in the locker room, and the guys we recruit, the guys we bring in, I feel like everybody just kind of bought into that, and it started with that first group, I think, freshman year.
Yeah, I think it was just changing our mentality, our mindset, and from the start of our sophomore year, it was completely different. The practices, everything, just the daily approach was just completely different from freshman year.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything, you kind of mentioned it, just like that mentality, but culturally, I know like in our locker room we always talk about trying to do the best you can every day, bring that energy every day and be consistent. Like, have you seen maybe a better consistency or a change from the culture from when you first came in to where you are now?
I'd say actually every single year that the team is way more bonded than the team freshman year. Not that we weren't close, but there was some guys that played a lot that weren't that involved with the team, and now these past 3 years we've been so close. I mean, we're just a group of brothers.
Yeah.
What's the value in having that like brotherhood type of culture, like on the court and how you guys play?
I feel like it takes the stress off basketball itself when you can on the weekends go hang out, go play video games at Demi's, or just go to the caf together and just joke around in the locker room on the bus. Like, it just kind of takes the stress off everything and reminds you like you're a college athlete also and a student. And you have your best friends playing with you, so enjoy it. It takes the stress off a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of like how the culture and the program's changed, how would you say you guys' roles have changed throughout your time? Like as freshmen, I know you got to play early, but now over time maybe you guys have become maybe more leaders, more vocal. How would you see like your role being like with the team?
Yeah, freshman year, I came off the bench. Didn't play that much, but I got some good minutes. And then sophomore year, me and a few other sophomores had to grow up really fast because we were still really young. I think we had two seniors, so. We kind of had to step in that role, like late game, like you're the guy, to control the ball. Some other guys are, go make the free throw. So, we grew up really fast, and I feel like now it's the same role where, we're looking at each other, we trust each other. Everybody on the courts, had to step up really early. So I feel like that's really nice to have now. So.
My role, my role of being the energy guy has always stayed the same. I mean, actually, from my freshman year, I was still the guy in the middle sometimes. I don't even know how you get that as a freshman, but... I had that a little bit, but a role that I've added besides bus/warm-up coordinator is, when I talk to Steve, he just tells me to keep these guys going. Normally I have a pretty positive outlook every single day, and I just try and spread that within the team. And because it's a long year, we got a lot of guys. You might not be happy every single day, but you just got to keep on chugging and staying in the process.
I mean, I think you have a very undervalued role. Like, honestly, like if we come to practice and you're always revved up, you always bring that energy. Like, no matter, like if you had a good or bad day of practice or whatever you think, like the energy that you bring and like always that reminder, like, hey, we got to work today because we have a tough game coming up, and like you always have like motivational speeches and things that are important for guys that have that mindset, right? So
and the bus coordinator is a big thing.
Like
make sure
so
freshmen are double
I think
up.
that's
The bus coordinator is the biggest one, I think.
It's a respectable job because no one wants to do that role.
Yeah, I
no
do
one
the
wants
dirty
to
work.
be that guy to like freshman double up. We got to figure this out, and then and when it has to go to the sophomores now have to double up. That's just an issue. So
right.
Everybody's been there. It is what it is. Yep. Limited seating. What about like the pregame sound audio hype? Like, like how does that usually work for you?
Yeah. So I got my mixes on SoundCloud, and then I have on Music because it's free, and you could find anything on there. That I just have a bunch of nonsense on there, and I don't know what. I normally just go with anything upbeat that'll get everybody going, and once I start dancing like an idiot, then it kind of just rubs off on people, and that's how the vibes spread.
So last game there was an issue with the sound and audio pregame at Whitewater, and so I think you had to improvise a little bit. So you kind of want to talk about what you had to do to adjust to the lack of audio.
So there was no service, and we got 2 minutes designated to I put on music, but bad service, couldn't get anything going. So I may have thrown myself in the locker like 4 times, and then everybody was just screaming at that. I had to sit out the first couple minutes after that. But hey, whatever it takes.
Who do you think like reciprocates that energy the best? Like when we're just going crazy before game, who do you think reciprocates or like kind of tags along with you the best?
I'd say Pat's definitely up there.
Yeah,
Pat's good.
Nash.
Andy Nash. Nemi's always good. And even some of the more quiet guys, I've gotten Adam Kemp to get along with it this year.
Kemp, really good guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying more and more with them.
Who's someone that you want to get going? Like you want to see them kind of get out of the show a little bit more.
Debut.
Dabu,
Oh, yeah, Boo would be
Ethan
cool.
Dabu, freshman.
Yeah. AJ Williams. AJ Williams. I'd like to see him get out of his shell a little bit more. I know he's always locked in.
He
but
can be very like macho, like locked in guy a lot of the time.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, but he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always locked in. I just feel like he's a little bit more quiet with it, which that's okay. I respect it.
People have different ways to prepare games. Maybe like
That's true.
I guess not everybody's gonna be
True.
like
Yeah,
relevant. They don't like
you can't
that
be
way to.
bouncing off the walls all the time. But
I mean, I thought it was a good way to get ready. I mean, we won.
yeah,
Yeah, it
we
was
did.
great. It was
We did
great.
win.
Maybe I'll do it today. I don't know.
Put your body on the line.
Hey, I'll do whatever. Pause.
Okay. Change the subject. We'll get off that now. I guess why did you guys pick basketball? Like, do you have like an early memory of like between other sports you maybe were playing, or maybe you had like someone you looked up to, like an idol that inspired you to play? Like, why do you guys end up playing basketball?
My dad was a longtime coach for 30-something years, so I kind of grew up in a family of basketball. My brother played, all this stuff. So I just kind of grew up with it, and I fell in love with it. I played baseball and golf, through high school, but I always knew I wanted to play college basketball, so that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing really young, probably when I was 5. And I was always basketball and baseball, and I loved both very equally. And then at a point, I realized baseball is boring, and I just chose to stick with basketball. I've always loved it.
Is there anything specific like for basketball that like you like the most? Just about like the sport, maybe like I mean, obviously your dad coach, that's cool, but like just specific to basketball that you like.
Yeah.
I like how any guy on the court can go and score 20. I like how you can score 0 or 20 and still win the game. I like the team aspect of it. I like the strategy also, like throwing out a zone, different plays you could run. I just like kind of everything.
I live for the adrenaline, and he hit on it earlier. Just the team camaraderie. I mean, playing in a team sport in college is so unique, and I think it gets undervalued a lot. So, especially in our last years, we're just trying to soak it up as much as we can and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think, which I think makes basketball great, they can just pick up and play whenever. You can just play one-on-one. You can go shoot by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's what I always love, just being able to shoot by yourself and just play a sport. Like you don't need for football. You don't need a 12-man team to go out and do football things. Or I don't know, I've always liked it that way, just because you can always have. It's like individual too.
Yeah.
Because you play how you want to play, and
Exactly.
but I think there is a misconception with basketball, like the fact that anybody thinks they can pick up and play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to say
some
like,
extent, sure.
but like if you're playing 5-on-5 like college basketball, like the average Joe, like if you're like athletic, you can't just pick up and play.
No.
Like there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So
people that don't understand that, like the the endurance, like the physicality of it. Like everybody thinks, like deep threes, soft. I'm like, you guys don't know the practices even here, and then you go play Elmhurst, who's all 6 years our freshman year, when I'm an 18-year-old kid. Like you're gonna get
and the mental side too. Like if you don't know what you're doing on the court, because offense and defense are so specific, because you spend the whole week getting ready, and if you don't know what you're doing mentally, like you're not gonna be able to play.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
So absolutely. What do you think is the most important skill or attribute for someone to have in basketball?
Mental.
Mental?
Yeah.
Could you expand on that? Like,
yeah, I mean, well, I feel like it's pretty, I feel like everybody who's played basketball has always seen or heard of someone, like one of the star players on the team, that's really good, but, tends to get frustrated, maybe not, he's like a mental midget, and then that, being like that is going to affect your play and then your teammates around you as well. So I think that's most important.
Yeah, I would agree on the mental side. Like he said, you got to be able to come every day, even on your bad days. It goes for any sport, honestly, especially at the college level. And if you go beyond that, it's even harder, because that's like your full-time job. Balancing 4 classes in basketball, and then, weights, and then early mornings. Like, it's going to wear on you. You're going to have days where you don't want to do it, but, you got to do it. I mean, you're here for a reason. So I would, say mental 100%.
yeah, for sure. What about like a skill related, like shooting, passing, dribbling? What would you say is the most important one there? It's hard to pick. That there's a lot that's important.
I mean,
defense, I don't know.
I would say shooting, just because, like...
Oh, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, well, no, not because of that. Like, No, for a guard is shooting. I feel like if you're a guard and
absolutely.
like you're not the best shooter, like there's more negatives to come out with that.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just I would say shooting for a guard is the biggest thing.
I feel like I'd say passing, just because whether you're the smallest guy on the court or tallest guy on the court, it's a really good skill to have. Especially if you're a tall guy, then you can really use it to your advantage.
For sure. Do you guys have plans like after your career? Do you guys have plans to stay in shape or stay around basketball? What does that look like?
For sure. There's like Serbian and Greek tournaments, scattered throughout the year that I'll be planning.
Okay.
I know that.
I've heard about those.
Yeah,
Those get competitive right here.
They're intense, I heard.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch out for them.
What about you, Colin? What about you?
My plan is to go be a graduate assistant, at a college program, get my master's, and hopefully coach basketball after I'm done with my master's. Hopefully in the Division I level or college level. But that's my goal and plan after that.
Awesome. So speaking about coaching, I have a little coaching segment that I want us to go through.
Okay.
I got a couple of scenarios that I want you guys to walk through. So
All right.
there's a couple questions. So for each scenario, you have to pick players on our team. So the answers are going to be players on our team. Okay.
Okay.
So this should be fun.
Yeah. This should be good.
This should be good.
So I got 4 different scenarios. You guys each can give your answer. Like imagine you're the coach of the team, and you have to figure out like what player to use in each situation. Okay.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. First question: your team heads to the locker room for a halftime after an opposing player dropped 20 points and had 4 3-pointers in the first half. You want to make their second half absolute hell. Who are you going to put on them to shut them down, and why?
I'm gonna go AJ Johnson.
Okay.
Just because I feel like he's our best on-ball defender, and he'll be able to, follow him around, make sure he doesn't shoot, and I feel like, especially if he doesn't have any fouls, AJ will be, physical enough and smart enough, to try to do whatever he can.
I'll go AJ Williams. AJ normally gets our tougher assignments, and he's always locked in on the defensive end. So I'd go AJ Williams.
Yeah.
What about a guy that maybe people who do watch a lot of games maybe won't know? Like maybe someone who doesn't get to play a lot. Who would you say is like another good defender that people may not know about? Like let's say AJ Johnson, AJ Williams are in foul trouble.
Yeah.
You got to resort to like another guy.
I'll take.
This is tough.
Give me Wola.
Iwola. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
I was thinking Ebola also, or Griff plays. People don't really. This is his first year of him playing a lot of minutes.
He is a really good
Hey,
defender.
he starts.
Yeah, no, he starts. But like, Griff's a great defender.
Yeah,
I don't know.
for sure.
Yeah, I'd probably just say Ebola then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good answers. I agree. I like the Iwola one. All right, next scenario. Your team is down by double digits and has 10 turnovers. Who are you throwing into the game to cause some havoc and create a spark to get the team back into the game, and why?
Adam Kemp. Barrage of threes.
Attaboy Kemp, okay.
Yeah.
Adam Kemp.
I'm gonna go Nemi, and I'm just gonna tell him to trap every ball screen that he's involved with.
Okay.
And just cause havoc, and tell him you have 5 fouls, use them all if you can, and just trap the crap out of people.
Okay.
That's the game plan.
All right, good. All right. Scenario 3. This is a good one. A strange, unexplained accident has occurred, and Coach Steve and the rest of the assistant coaches have vanished off the face of the earth. What teammates or teammate are you entrusting to be the interim head coach for the rest of the season?
KJ Williams.
I like that pick. That's who I was thinking.
KJ knows everybody on the team. Smart basketball player. He cooks all of us in practice too. I feel like his subbing rotations would be elite. So I'm going to go KJ Williams.
I'll agree with that one.
That's what I was thinking too, to be honest.
And then I'm going to do assistant coach Alex.
Okay.
So that's going to be assistant coach. And then,
My assistant, I'm keeping DeAndre.
You're keeping DeAndre?
Yes.
You're just going to take him back?
I'm going to find him. Yeah. Okay. He'll be back. DeAndre.
Why'd you pick Al? Why'd you pick Al as an assistant?
Because Al is just a soft-spoken guy. He'll be able to talk to guys when they come out of the game if they're, upset.
He has a leather jacket, too.
Yeah,
So you can
Al does have a leather jacket. It's kind of an inside joke on the team, but if he's wearing the leather jacket and Tarbell on the bench, we're winning any game by 10+.
For sure.
I want to talk about Cage a little more, specifically like in practice, because A lot of people probably don't know, but he does destroy people. Like, he's so hard to guard in practice.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, just talk about KJ and what he brings to the team.
He's the shiftiest guard I've ever played against. His pull-up game is insane, and he's just so quick with the ball. Like it's so hard to guard. And then him on defense, he just pokes the ball away like every other possession. So he's not fun to go against.
If you're guarding KJ and you're not in a stance, you're done.
Yeah,
You're done.
yeah.
I remember times like he'll get like 3 straight buckets, and like it's like the team has to get 3 stops, but he's just hitting the toughest shots, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's the worst to go against. I've said it for years. He's not fun to play against at all. Love to have on your team.
He makes you better.
Yeah, he does.
That's
Scout team All-American.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a seriously underrated player on the team. Like, it's just his value should not go unspoken. So, last question here, kind of the generic one. Game on the line. What player on the team are you drawing up a game-winning shot for?
Go first.
Jake Harvey. That's my red answer, and my other answer, Captain America, AJ Johnson.
What set are you drawing up for Harv? What look are you trying to get him?
Hammer look. Nash driving baseline. no, Kemp driving baseline. Kemp to Harv. That connection for sure.
For a 3-bomb?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
I'm gonna go Caden, Dawson, freshman.
Okay.
We're going to draw him up a little, high ball screen action. We're going to flare him out with the outside guard, and he's just going to rip baseline and go dunk on somebody. It's the easiest play to run, and it's the only guy that can do that. So, Caden Dawson.
What about someone on the black team, or the starting group?
Oh, AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson, we're just going to go Cap?
Yeah, we're going to go Cap.
What are we drawing up for Cap?
My dad used to coach.
No, that's it. Probably just get him into ball screen action. His 2-dribble right pull-up is arguably he's probably a 90% clip on his right dribble pull-up. Probably just let him go to the right, 2-dribble pull-up. Tell everybody to get back on defense because it's probably going to go in.
So we got let me think, starting 5 of Don had like what? Ewola, AJ Williams.
Yeah.
For your first pick. Then you had Kemp.
Yep.
Then you had coaching KJ Williams coach.
Yep.
And then you got who was it? Harv /
AJ Johnson.
So you got that's your starting 5 there.
All right.
Who was your first pick was AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson, and then
double digit. Who was the guy that calls it Nemi?
Oh, Nemi, yeah, 5-man.
Okay, Nemi.
And then
your coach was KJ as well.
KJ, yep. And then
who are your final 2? KD,
and Kem.
And Kem, you'll take Kem.
Yeah, I'll take Kem. Easy.
Okay.
Kemp all day.
All right.
That starting 5's winning every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have Harv.
Yeah, Harv's coming off the bench for you. Sorry, Harv.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's all I've got. Do you guys have any final comments you want to talk about?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's your funniest memory in your 3 years at Carthage? Either in practice, on the bus, hotel room, on a trip. Funniest memory.
I have things that maybe I shouldn't share.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
I will say I remember this one. It may not be the funniest, but it's one I do remember. So it's not like the greatest story, but we were in practice. I think we were doing like a 2-3 zone or something. I was on the sideline just chilling. We're swinging the ball and whipping it really fast because you're supposed to do against 2-3 zone.
Yep.
Boris is on the wing. I think I can't remember who passed it, but he was like on the wing trying to like deflect the pass from the wing to the corner on the 2-3.
Yeah.
He sticks his foot out and kicks it.
Hits you right.
It rockets right into my gut. I'm like, I hunch over.
That was funny.
And I have it on film on a video. I can probably show it on the podcast. Hopefully, if I can find the video. But
yeah,
that was pretty funny. I mean, those days are always great. And
probably didn't feel too good.
No, it actually, I do some ab workouts every once in a while.
Colin.
I like to think that I do my bird dogs and
shout out Colin.
Dead bugs, but so Colin, I think Colin saved me there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fun things that go around, but maybe things I shouldn't share on the show. But it's just like banter and stuff like that. So
let's keep it PG.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a great show. I mean,
I appreciate
covered a lot. You guys did a great job, and so
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for hopping on the show, and stay tuned for future episodes, guys. Thank you for listening to Fuel in the Flame. We'll see you next time. Peace.